Cultivation Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Hamill, and we have a special bonus episode that you don't normally get to see. So we're really going off topic, unscripted, unplugged, whatever you want to say. But the guy who's normally running everything from behind the camera, behind the scenes, and making all the movie magic happen is now in front of the camera, sitting next to me. He's our director, producer, engineer, grip boy. I'm just making up movie terms that I don't even know the answers to now. Spike, whatever. Okay, and so this is Donovan, DJ Ross. Welcome to the show.
Hello, world.
Hello, world. You're saying hello, world, like maybe these individuals haven't seen you or heard you.
Yeah, well, the Cultivation Podcast, like, audience has never met me.
Yeah.
Technically.
Well, they have now.
Yep.
Welcome, DJ. So, DJ is viral star on TikTok.
That's me. You can go follow me at D.J.Ross _.
Yeah.
Go
D.J.
ROSS _
ROSS _
Ross, yeah.
Russ, yeah. So, in case you don't know this, DJ and I have known each other for all of his life.
Yep. Almost all of yours.
No.
Half of yours.
Half of my life?
Yeah.
I've known him for half my life and all of his life.
Yeah.
That's about the age difference. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Yeah, and I'm 42. So we're exactly 20 years apart.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. All right. Did you?
Right now. I did know it, but I never put it together.
There's a picture that I posted for your birthday. I'll put it up on the screen because I'm the one editing this podcast.
Because you're the yes.
I'll put it up right here.
If you're listening and not watching, you're missing the movie magic right there. So,
but look at this picture right here that I'm holding in my hand. This was me when I think I was like maybe 3 in this picture.
I don't even know if you were 3, but maybe.
Maybe, yeah. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You were small. Not like...
You mean young?
Yeah, young. Like
yeah, I was 20.
23, 24, yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
You really have known me all my life.
I have known you.
That's wild to think about. Like, you can know someone for all your life, but then, like, they only know you for half years. I don't know. That's just weird to me.
So, okay. So we obviously do this podcast together.
Yep.
And we do a lot of life experiences together, even though we're 20 years apart.
Yep.
Right? We've done a lot of adventures together.
We have.
Do you want to talk about any of those?
I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head. Because you guys went to Utah without me. Utah is like one of my favorite places to go, and I had to work.
You had to work.
I know. I had to work, and they got to go to Utah. So
we didn't want to go without you.
I know. That was kind of depressing, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was going to say you're a bum and had to work, but that's literally what makes you not a bum is that you had to work.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, when we were younger, I remember, like, us going to Disneyland all the time, and we always got to go to the front of the line because your leg. Yeah. So...
People might not even know what you're talking about. So in case you don't know this, but about 15 years ago, I had a very massive leg injury accident. I broke both bones in my leg, kind of like Conor McGregor did the other night.
Yeah.
Depending on when you're watching or listening to this, Conor McGregor had a fight with who?
Dustin Poirier.
And it was the third fight in their.
Yeah.
It was their trilogy fight, and in like 30 seconds in the first round.
No, it was like right at the end of the first round.
Yeah, he
snapped his tibia.
Yeah, so I did that. I have a titanium rod that goes from my knee to my ankle, and so I got a handicap pass for a while. Yeah. I don't have that anymore though.
Dang it!
I'm all better.
I know. We're going to Disney World this summer, and Josh was like, we should try to get one. It's like, none of us are disabled.
Right. It did have its perks, right? But I'm sure that people that experience that.
I think that's like the thing that we, like, out of our, like, vacations, I guess you would call them. That's like the one thing that we've done the most together, like, as our two families, like, Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went on a cruise together.
We did go on a cruise together.
That was pretty legit.
Yeah.
We
swam with dolphins.
Actually, better said, we swam on dolphins.
On
like
dolphins.
holding on to their fins.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was crazy. In the ocean.
In the ocean, it's so different though than like. So we're in California, and when we go to the ocean, we're going to the Pacific Ocean, and it's like, it's hard to. It's like dark water. Like, you can't see, But then the cruise we went on was in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Or the Caribbean, however you want to say it. And it was like super clear water. And it's like a completely different experience.
And that's because you haven't been to Hawaii with me.
Yeah.
Where that happens there too.
We'll have to do that.
But you've been to Alaska with me.
Nope.
You didn't go to Alaska?
No, my parents went to Alaska. I was like a baby DJ.
Baby DJ.
I think I was still in junior high when you guys went to Alaska.
Maybe so. I thought you went once with us.
Nope. Unfortunately.
Well, okay, moving on.
Okay.
We have a lot of memories, shared experience.
Yep.
But we are from technically a different generation.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable how much fun we have together.
Yeah.
Even though I can't get you to just come hang out with this old guy.
Well, we still live like an hour away from each other.
Yeah, well.
And I have a lease on my car, so I can't put a bunch of miles on my car.
Right. So one of the things that's super passionate to me is really, we talk about this all the time. It's in our language. It's in our byline, our tagline, blah, 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 subtitles of everything really is like awakening greatness within people, right? And so one of the things that while you run all of this, right, I'm always trying to challenge you of like, hey, what's next? What could you do? Where could you put your giftings to work? Where could you do this, right? That sort of thing. And so I want to hear from your side as a recipient of always having to hear me champion that and say that over and over and over again. How has the podcast impacted you? Because you've been a part of almost every season.
Yeah.
I think since season 2.
Since season 2.
So.
Because season 1 you produced on your own.
Yeah.
And
it was trash. You can go watch it if you want. It was trash.
Season 2, you brought me on for social media stuff. And then season 3 is when I started doing video.
Yeah.
Right?
And I put the whole thing in your hands.
Pretty much. So, like, I think more of the... This is going to sound mean, but it's definitely not.
Okay, all right.
I think more of the you pushing me to, like, be the producer has taught me more than, like, the actual podcast.
I gotcha.
Just because it's, like, hands-on, like, doing stuff, because I'm more of a hands-on learner than, like, let me just listen to you and learn stuff. I've never really been good at that, even in school. Like, my parents can attest to that. I sucked in school. Shout out to all my teachers, though, if you're watching. And I know you're watching, so...
well, because you're famous.
Yeah, and this
on TikTok.
And this podcast is massive now.
Well, bro, we just got the newest results in before launching season 6.
Yeah, you said like 28 countries. That's so crazy.
Like, we have a live, active listening subscriber base audience in 28 different countries around the globe.
That's wild.
There's only like 128 on the planet.
Yeah.
I think it's 196, but we'll go with 128. Makes it sound like a bigger percentage.
And you said like our biggest country isn't even the U.S., right?
The U.S. is our biggest country.
Oh, I thought you said India was.
Well, it's outside of the U.S.,
Gotcha.
right? So we've got India, Germany, the U.K. We've got a lot in the U.K., the Philippines.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Like people you might never meet, might never meet for your whole life. Meet you through this podcast.
We should do Cultivation World Tour.
We should do it. We'll do live podcasts.
Yeah, from
their countries.
Yes. Philippines, number 1, we're coming to you.
And then India.
Yeah.
And then UK.
Have you traveled outside of this country other than the cruise that we talked about to the Caribbean?
I went on a missions trip in high school to Mexico.
Okay.
Once, but other than that, I haven't gone out of the country.
Yeah, we're going to fix that.
Yeah, we have to.
Because you got to get on international soil.
For real.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've been to almost every continent.
I know. And you're planning on going to Antarctica.
Yes, yeah. COVID delayed some of that, right? COVID had to delay some of that, like everybody else. It delayed plans, but...
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me get back to your question.
I'll
fully answer it. So, like, when we first started the podcast, I'm young, so, like, I was into social media, but... never really like started learning about it until you commissioned me or pushed me to do it. So it's been interesting learning like the back ends of social media, how social media works, and then just learning like podcast stuff. Like think about this, like 2 years ago we had none of this equipment.
None. Yeah.
We had iPod touches and a Yeti mic.
I know. To go back and think about how we were doing that those first 2 seasons even with that equipment.
And then every season just challenging ourselves to step up our game.
Yeah.
Even this season, like just stepping up the game with the content and the way we're producing stuff. So
yeah, trying to take it to the next level and always pushing ourselves to grow. There's more new heights, right?
Yeah.
Become that. So let me ask you this question because of, again, staying in the vein of the show. What are the sources? What are the places? You talked about how you like to learn, being hands-on, that sort of thing. So what's your go-to spots? Like, where do you get inspiration from when it comes to really challenging yourself? People may not know this. You're a musician, talented musician. Jerk, I hate you. But right, really talented musician, kind of creative when it comes to the visual look of like the podcast, the intro bumper that looks way better than season 1. Again, if you want to compare, you can go back and watch it. That's trash. But you know what I'm saying? Like all of those things, like that's been your creative spin on that sort of things. And so like, where do you go for inspiration and challenging you to go to the next level on that stuff?
Yeah, honestly, it's like just finding people that on YouTube, like I found different creators that I just like what's the word? Vibe with their style.
Okay, yeah.
If you will, like there's some creators that I've found that like have taught me a lot of stuff about the camera equipment and just like how to use camera equipment and stuff like that. And then I would say honestly my biggest like inspirations are probably my friends Josh and David. Those two are like you say to me, like you're a jerk for being a musician. That's how I feel about them because they're so ridiculously talented and like they're big inspirations for me. And then obviously you and like my dad, like you guys are achieving your dreams and like pushing me to like go after my dreams, like building this and like step into purpose the unit that we just created. So
yeah, DJ was a huge part of the Step Into Purpose course curriculum that is now launched, now out, and available to everybody. And so did a lot of the hard work on that stuff. I feel like when I watch those and participate in those, I'm like, man, I did the easy part, even though I'm the one on the camera almost all the time. Yeah. Man, I did the easy part because there's a lot of work in that. So, let me ask you this question, because one of the things that we talk about in like the Step Into Purpose, one of the things that we talk about on the show, like when it comes to personal development, growth, going to the next level, is finding a coach, right? Finding those voices that speak into us. So it's a little bit similar question, but how do you determine who gets to be a voice that speaks into your life?
That's good.
Because you see things from see them from a different perspective than how I see them. So that's why I'm like, how do you determine like, hey, I'm going to listen to that person, but not this person?
That's a good question. I think there's like multiple, because like I don't think you can just have one coach.
No,
absolutely. Like I think you need multiple coaches for multiple areas in your life. And like I'm young, so obviously I don't have it all figured out. And I even know you say that too. Like you don't have it all figured out, and you're 20 years older than me. So like I think it's good to have different coaches for different aspects of my life. So like my friends can be coaches for certain aspects of my life, like when it comes to like music or just like everyday stuff. But then when it comes to like money and like financial responsibility and stuff like that, I can't look to my peers who are the same age as me, who are going through the same struggles, you know? So it's just like obviously like we've talked about like financial responsibility and stuff like that, and trying to get me to open up a retirement account.
I want to say that to everybody right now. We're just going to segue. This is a non-paid commercial break. To just be like, hey, open up a retirement account today, an IRA, a Roth IRA account. Start with even $25 a month. Wherever you're at, just start with something, because the earlier, the younger you are, compound interest is your friend. That's now, right. Back to the show.
But does that answer your question?
Yeah. I just want to know, like, what's your filter? You know, what's the values that you place on saying, hey, I'll allow that person to speak into my life, but I wouldn't allow this person.
Yeah, I think
there's a lot of opinions out there.
I think it's finding people who have gone through those experiences already, and then like for other aspects, like I said, people who are going through it with you at the same time, like friends.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For me, I'm obviously, again, we're just kind of pointing out the obvious 20 years difference. But for me, it is knowledge based. Like, hey, are you an expert in this field? Maybe you haven't crashed and burned in this area, but are you an expert in it? But then the second thing is, are you authentic about it?
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And
That's
so
a big one.
authenticity for me probably is really important because I just hate it when people are fake and phony and pretend and, whatever. So,
True.
but I definitely would say you got to have multiple coaches because I mean, I have multiple coaches in my life. I have a nutrition coach, which is different than a fitness coach,
Yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
different than a relationship coach. Yeah,
Which is different from your financial.
yeah,
and
yeah,
family and
yeah,
all that
right.
stuff.
All
yeah.
that stuff. All those people are different because it's kind of like, are you an expert in this field?
Yeah,
Then I want to listen to you. But there's nobody that's an expert in every field,
yeah.
right?
I think too, going back to one of the things you said about like people being fake is like getting to actually know your coach instead of just like so say like I found you on Instagram one day and I just DM'd you and like, hey, can you be my coach? I feel like that would be kind of weird because like I don't know you.
Yeah.
What if you're fake? Obviously, I know you're not fake because I've known you for 22 years.
Half my life.
Yeah. But like I think getting to actually know your coach too, and like there are some people who are like obviously very well respected like in their areas, but like if I would say just get to know your coach. Like I mean obviously that's probably a given for some people, but not everyone knows that.
Yeah, it's true.
Because social media is very highlight reely,
Yeah,
if that makes
it's
sense.
very selective.
Yeah.
Right. It's
No one
very-
shows the lowlights. They just show like the big stuff.
And it seems like even when people post the lowlights, it's the highlight of the low light. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's kind of like, not every day you can be this, just being real, being
Yeah.
raw, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's still for attention,
Yeah, definitely.
And I do it too. So I'm not criticizing people. Like I'm on social media and I post things and share things and, try to do that. But my biggest kind of filter behind that is I really want to add value to people's lives, right? That's for me. I mean, that's just you didn't ask the question, but I'm telling you.
No, yeah,
it's like kind
totally.
of the lens of, hey, does this add value to people's lives? So,
Yeah.
Um.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. By all means, interview me.
Okay, so well, you've never been the guest on your own podcast.
One time I was the guest.
You were?
I think it was season 3.
Oh, okay. I just must have not remember. Who hosted you?
David Speck.
Oh, okay.
You know what it was? It was season 3. Maybe it was season 5. It was during COVID, and all of those were done via Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
That makes sense.
Anyways, but ask a question.
Okay.
I've never been interviewed live.
Yeah. So for your audience, what is the biggest thing that you've learned through your podcast?
Well, honestly, I think I'm the biggest recipient of the podcast, right? Like I've probably grown the most having to do the podcast. Doing this podcast and writing the book and doing Step Into Purpose really has forced me to know my crap,
Yeah.
right? So it's like I've actually grown probably more than anybody else from this. So for me, it's just kind of stoked and provoked a hunger to just not be done. So, we talked about this. I'm 42. I remember when my dad was 42, and I remember even thinking, because I was like 14, 15 when my dad was turned 42, and I remember thinking, I was cognizant enough to go, man, it feels like he's done. Now, he obviously wasn't done working, and he wasn't done doing a lot of things in life, but it was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of have determined that wouldn't be me. So for me, at 42, I still feel very vibrant, not physically or whatever, but in the sense of like, man, I feel like I'm just getting started. Like I'm still growing and developing and stepping into my own purpose and mission of awakening giftings and greatness and purpose in people. And so really having to learn how to try to communicate that and awaken that in different personality types and people with different backgrounds. And what's been amazing is as I've heard from different audience members, I'm doing quotations in my hands if you're listening, like different people who, kind of follow us, is that man, there is a really low, dark level of self-talk, and people just don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And the more I find people who don't believe in themselves, the more I am just determined, like with a grit, to go, but I know that people are created to do and be awesome.
Yeah.
And I just want them to hear that. And I want them, if anything else, I'm just like, hey, can I be the one person? I think there's more people. I'm not the one person, but maybe for the one that it matters, like that they, for the first time, hear, hey, I believe in you.
Yeah.
Right? Like I really just believe people live so far below their potential. And I've seen that as I started talking about these things through the book, through the podcast, through social media, where people just aren't convinced about that in regards to themselves. And I'm not trying to provoke arrogance in people, be like, I'm all that. You know what I mean?
For
like,
sure.
I'm God's gift to humanity, right? Whatever. That's not the goal. But man, just to think you have nothing to offer, yeah, it's just extreme. So.
Yeah. I think too, like, kind of going back to what you were saying about how, like, when you were younger and looking at your dad, I know I keep going back to stuff, but
That's fine.
It's because I didn't want to interrupt you.
It's unplugged.
Yeah. So like, I remember even being like, when I was in high school, like kind of just seeing other people, like, it's going to be like, oh, you go to college, you get a job, you work till you're 60, you retire, or whatever the retirement age is now. You retire, and then, yeah, I know, it goes up.
Keeps
every
going
year.
up.
But it's kind of just like, I feel like in the last, like, 5 years, not just for me, but I think, like, as a society, it's, like, changed a lot. Like, the American dream, whatever that used to be, like, it's totally shifted to, like, you can be whatever you want to be. Like, especially now in the day of social media and all that stuff, like, you don't have to do the normal. Like, you can go as long as you want. You can start as late as you want, and you can still be successful.
It's true. It's good.
Like, my grandma, she just is going back to school now.
I know, it's amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And, like, even seeing you, like, start your podcast at 40, like, that's such an you were 40 when you started? Yeah.
Man,
It's such an inspiration. Or, like, my dad, like, he started his company Cleat a couple years ago. Like, my mom and Aunt Jamie doing their health business, and Aunt Gretchen, and just seeing people thrive when, like, most people are, like, getting ready to stop.
Yeah, or just stay stuck in that rut for, all right, here's where I'm at until.
Wake up, go to work, come home, eat, go to bed, and just do it over again. But I feel like our family has really, like, shaken up the normal for all of the young, like, all of us, like, just giving us a different perspective on life.
It's good. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Any other questions you got? I know
I
we
don't
totally
think so.
did not prepare for this. This is just a bonus episode. So if you're still with us, thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit longer. But
we actually did one, but it was a lost episode.
Oh, it's a lost episode.
Because the audio got all
it's
messed up,
gone,
so.
like with the Super Mario Brothers levels, the lost levels of Super Mario. It's gone. It's gone.
But I think we did better on this one.
Yeah, maybe so. Okay, one last question, because I remember this from the last time as we're talking about this. Your favorite experience with me?
What was the one I said last time?
The Tesla test drive.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That was a good one. So
Man, it must have been memorable. It's your favorite experience. You forgot about it.
When was that? That was like my junior year, sophomore year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so we went on a Tesla test drive. And the biggest thing I remember is him giving me his phone, and he's like, "Hey, take pictures of me while I'm driving.
Film this,
because this is a car I'm gonna have one day.
It's about to go down."
And now, like, every time we're together, when we see a Tesla, he's like, "You ready to have matching Teslas?" So
it's gonna be in cultivation blue.
Yep.
Right. So we're gonna have cultivation blue matching Teslas.
We are.
That's how it's gonna work.
Mine's gonna be faster than yours, though.
Just keep thinking that.
But yeah, I remember, like, we were sitting in the back seat, and then the guy was like, "Okay, just take off right here." And he's like, "But put your head against the back because it takes off quick." And it was like, "Oh!"
Yeah. It does pin you to the seat.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So
What's your favorite memory with me?
Ooh,
You have a lot
man.
more memories.
I know, but man, they just go back so far, and I got to keep it clean and appropriate for the show. Favorite memory, man, alive. 20 years of them. I don't even know what my favorite memory would be. I mean, I think even though I wasn't there, probably my favorite story, kind of thing was like I was hosting a very large convention, and all the kids were there together playing hide and seek in the convention,
yeah.
right? And then the cops were trying to do a missing child report because Josh, your brother, was hiding, and they were like, "Well, if he's missing, no, he's not missing. He's playing hide." They were playing hide and seek in the convention.
I remember that.
And so it's just kind of funny because we used to have Thanksgiving together and do all these kinds of things,
in
hosting
those
that
massive
conference.
hotels.
And, yeah, right. When we would book out the whole convention center. And
I have another good memory of yours.
boom, go.
My first year of fine arts.
Yeah, which is a performing arts kind of competition that we did.
So I did like a short sermon, which is like public speaking for those of you who don't know what it is. And it was my first year, and I won. And I remember you calling me up. It actually like popped up on my like Facebook memories or whatever the other day, and you calling me up on stage, and I was like probably like this tall, and my voice was like really squeaky like this.
Yes.
And I was watching that. I was like, wow, we've come a long way since then.
So for those of you that don't know, DJ is a giant. He's like, how tall are you? 6'1"?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there.
Right. But he didn't start growing until like his senior year of high school.
Yeah.
It was super late.
And even then, like, I kept growing like my freshman year of college.
Right. Right. So it was super late. So DJ was like little and baby face, still baby face, but kiddish for a long time. So in junior high school, and
I think I was like 5'6" till the start of my senior year.
Right. And then all of a sudden it was like,
and then I just got tall.
Yeah, right. Whereas guys like me, I finished growing in the 6th grade. I was a giant in the 6th grade, and then slowly, I didn't shrink, but everyone
just got taller.
Yeah, like, whoa, what happened there? Anyway,
and then my brother, it was both. He was always the giant, and then he just kept growing. He's like 6'4", 6'5" now,
and still growing.
Yeah,
still getting taller every time I see him. He's like another 3 inches taller, something.
It's
like
dumb.
Anyways, hey, this is the bonus episode of the Cultivation Podcast. I don't know what number this is, but it makes it. And this is my guest, DJ. One more time, tell us how to look you up on social media, TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, it's D.J.Ross_ on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everything.
Boom. All right,
I'll put it up right here so they can see it too.
Yes. Splash it.
Since I am editing.
Splash it
I'll
the screen.
I'll put the links in the description too, so you can just click on the link and it'll send you straight there. I'm just kidding.
That's my outro normally, so I don't even know. We're going to wrap it up. But, hey, thanks for being a part of the Cultivation Nation. Can I say that? Cultivation Nation?
Cultivation Nation.
Yeah, boom. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. We'd love for you to pick up the book, The Life You're Meant to Lead, as we try to do that, as well as purchase that course curriculum, Step into Purpose, 12 weeks of really giving you some powerful action steps to awakening the greatness that's within. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Until next time, peace. Thanks for checking out this week's episode. Be sure to hit the like button, as well as make your comments in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you and journey with you. Also, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all the other incredible content we have coming at you.